Hello everyone, it's nice seeing you here. My name is Sorin Carbonaro. I'm a software developer for Syncrosoft, the company that develops the Oxygen XML suite of products. Hello, welcome. No problem. And today I want to talk to you about how you can energize your XML editing by using our AI assistant called Oxygen AI Positron Assistant. And before that, before jumping into the presentation, I want to start with a small piece of advice, life advice, work-life advice. Whatever you do, don't go on a 2-week vacation before having a presentation at a conference and come back a few days before flying to the conference, because you will come back looking at your slides and you'll go like, was it me who wrote these slides? Because I don't really remember what I'm supposed to say here. So please allow me to sit, because I don't want to miss anything with the cables here. So I want to start by showing you Positron at a glance really quickly. Then I want to say a few words about how this add-on is integrated with our products, especially with our standalone product. This is what I'm going to present today. I want to mention some more advanced AI capabilities that we have adopted. Then we will spend most of our time in the demo. Towards the end of my presentation, I also want to mention some possible future directions. And if we have time, and I think we do have some time, I can try to answer a few questions. And if you have more questions, you can always come by to our stand. Okay, so we have two distributions of Positron. One is more suitable for individual use, the one on the left, and the one on the right is more suitable for business use. The one for individual use uses our service, which is based on OpenAI. So you cannot choose there. You use our service based on OpenAI. And you have to buy a monthly subscription. You have 3 packages from which you can choose. And you can only use it in production with our standalone products. We also have it for our web products, web authoring, content fusion, but only for demo purposes. The other one on the right is the one more suitable for business use. This is for companies where people already have accounts, OpenAI accounts, maybe Microsoft Azure OpenAI accounts, or Anthropic Claude. So this is the official suite of products that we support, but unofficially there are also some other AI services that can be supported if they have a similar API to OpenAI, or if we find some sort of a bridge between that service and OpenAI. So here, if you have, here you can use it both in the web products and the standalone products. If you have a license for Content Fusion or Web Author, you simply install the add-on and you don't have to pay anything else. You just buy the license for Content Fusion or Web Author, install the add-on, and that's all. You only pay for your AI service subscription, but nothing to us. The same goes if you have Oxygen XML Editor, Author, or Developer with an enterprise license. You simply install the add-on and you don't have to pay anything else. If you don't have an enterprise distribution, an enterprise license, then you would have to buy a subscription license, which you pay yearly. Now, Positron is deeply integrated with Oxygen and with the editing environment, with the workspace, and that's one of the main selling points. What would be the reason to create another OpenAI if you would have to switch, another ChatGPT if you would have to switch between Oxygen and the other product? Part of the value of our product is this deep integration between the add-on and the product itself. And When you install the add-on in Oxygen, you will get a chat window, and you will have a list of predefined actions that you can use. You also have the possibility to create your own custom actions. We have these so-called AI fixes. This means that you get validation errors in Oxygen, and you can simply show the contextual menu on that validation error, go to an AI fix action, and using the validation error message and the problematic content, we send that content to the AI service and expect a fix from the AI. And you also have the possibility to perform AI-based refactoring. That means you can apply an AI-based action on a collection of files, or you can write a custom prompt that will be applied on that collection of files. And with most of our features, you can effortlessly preview the changes before applying them. And as a side note, pretty much everything that the AI creates is a draft, and you have to preview the changes, you have to review them and preview them. You cannot blindly accept them, at least not at this point in the AI's evolution. And then when you think that the changes are good for you, you can easily insert those changes in your content or replace some content with the AI-generated content. And you can also regenerate the answers, either using the same model or maybe trying another model, maybe a superior one, to see if you get better results. When it comes to the advanced AI capabilities, we have adopted a few of them. For example, we have adopted vision support. That means that we have actions and features that allow you to feed the AI with images, provide images to the AI, and expect results based on those images. The AI is able to read and interpret those images and come up with answers. For example, you can generate a description, an alternate text for that particular image. Secondly, and these two words might not tell you anything, function calling, I don't know, maybe you read about it, maybe not, but this function calling feature is extremely powerful. We have used it to implement the third advanced capability, Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG. This means that the answers that you get are not solely based on the LLM's training, but you also feed some external sources of information to the LLM, so you can get a more meaningful, a better result. For example, it could be your local Oxygen project, where the AI goes, reads information, and come back with an answer. Or it could be your published content. And other than implementing Retrieval-Augmented Generation with function calling, you can, Oxygen and Positron can do some other very powerful things, such as writing files on the disk and altering your data structure, your data map. You can add topics to the data map. And there are so many other possibilities that we are still, some of them maybe are not yet experimenting, and some others we are experimenting with. And now let me switch to Oxygen, because this is where we will spend most of our time, not with the Git staging, but with Positron. So, in my opinion at least, and I don't think it's only my opinion, Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG, is extremely important if you want to adopt AI. Because you really cannot rely only on the LLM's training. And I will start with RAG. I want to show you a predefined action, then maybe a custom action, how RAG works in the chat. So let's start with this content generation action from here. It's called generate documentation draft. I don't know if you can see it very well. And for me to use it, I need a small configuration file. So usually with generate documentation draft, you would provide a summary, a draft summary, a starting point for the generation. For example, this could be a note for the documentation team that you left on your issue tracker. So if the human can use that to start working on the documentation, then hopefully the AI can do that as well. And usually you would provide more information than you can see here. You can provide a context, an audience, you can provide a similar topic, you can provide images, instructions. But if you do that, then the AI, if I can say this about an AI service, will not feel the need to look somewhere else. So that's why in this example I have only a short draft summary. And here I imagined that we created an action called autocorrecting files. You might know that we have an action called check spelling in files in the project view and in the data maps manager. And I said that this autocorrect files is similar to check spelling in files because I want the AI to generate a documentation topic for the autocorrecting files action that is very similar to what we already have in our user guide for check spelling in files. And for comparison, let me actually open the spell check in files topic. Okay, so we will come back to this maybe a little bit in a few seconds. And now I want to make sure I have RAG enabled from the options. And yes, it is. And if you want to use RAG while generating documentation drafts, you also have to check this checkbox here, use related content from project. So sometimes you don't want, maybe you have provided enough information. Other times, maybe you want to use it. So let's see it in action now. And what the AI will do, what I expect it to do and what it usually does, is to read this spell check in files action, and this is exactly what it did. So that's because I said in the draft summary that our new action is very similar to an old one. And I expected the AI to go and search for information about that old one so that it can learn what I expect it to do for the new action, right? So now let's come back and generate the documentation draft. And now if we look, let's do it like this. So you can see that they have a pretty similar structure. They start with some metadata, then with the name and the action and a small description of the action. And we have an image. Of course, the AI didn't know what image to add here, but it's good to know that we have to add the screenshot of the dialog box here. And then it started documenting all the available actions, available options. And it should also talk about autocorrect, not spell check. I see here it didn't do that. So again, keep in mind that whatever the AI generates is a draft. And by the way, the name of the action is generate documentation draft. But we got this draft, which is very similar to what we have on the right, in maybe 15 seconds or so. So this is a very, very good starting point. You have this in 15 seconds, then you can go on and adapt that. So this is, in this particular case, the AI went and looked for information in the local project. But if I disable the project-based RAG and I only leave the external RAG sources, then you will see that the action will now start to go in the published user guide and take information from there. And this is exactly what it says here: search for content in web help matching keywords. For this, you have to set a specific token in the preferences, but that's more some more technical details that I will not go into right now. And now let's see what we got. So it's a little bit different than what we got earlier. With AI, you don't always know what to expect. But again, keep in mind that this is just a draft. You want to get a quick draft on which you can then build. So you have these options: use RAG with your local project or use RAG with your published content. Now let me enable this again because we might need this later. And here in this topic, I don't find anything about XML. And the reason I looked for XML in this topic is because let's say I have an idea. I'm not sure if the autocorrect feature is able to also generate XML structure or not. And I want to ask the AI. So we don't have this information here. And maybe we would like to have it here, but we are not sure if this is true or not. So what we can do is to ask the AI if the autocorrect feature in Oxygen is able to insert XML fragments. And then I also ask it to let me know, this is where, not when, where I can read more about this. And now the AI will again start looking for external sources of information. And it told me, yes, this feature is able to generate XML structure and you can read more, and it gave me the URL. So you can use RAG with your local project, with predefined actions, in the chat, and now let me show you with a custom action. And for that, I want to open another sample. Okay. So here we have this table where usually the technical writer would have to respect a specific structure, but for some reason, maybe it was late in the evening and he or she wanted to go home, they only wrote the content without any structure, right? This is just for showing you an example. So what you can do for creating a structure that is similar to the structure in the close context is to create, because we don't have such a predefined action, is to create a custom action, which is exactly what I did. We have a template for that if you need to start from there. And there are two very important parts in this JSON file that defines the custom action. One of those important things is this one from here, where I provide the instruction to the AI, and I say something like, add markup to the selected content in a manner similar to its surrounding context. Now, the AI does not know what the surrounding context is, so I have to provide it a way to find out. And that way is by using function calling. You may remember that I said it's very powerful, so this is where I use it. Here I have a reference to a function that we have defined, and this function allows the AI to look in the immediate context. So now I can select this row and use this add similar markup action, and it will regenerate the entire row while also taking a look at the context, and we can inspect here what the AI actually used. So you can see we have some context before the selection, we have the selection itself, and the context after the selection. And now we can preview the changes. Of course, this is always a good idea. So let's see what the AI did. And to me, it looks very well. So it's incredibly similar to what we already have here. And we can apply the changes. So this is how you can use RAG with a custom action using that function that looks in the immediate context. Now let's move on from RAG and talk about a new category that we have added in the latest version of Positron, and this section is called Intelligent Agents. And here, let me open yet another sample. So in a way, we have this action expand draft, which in a way is very similar to generate documentation draft, but you may remember that a generate documentation draft uses a special kind of XML configuration file. But you may want to start writing a data topic with some very simple content without structure and so on. You may throw some images there. So here, if I remember correctly, I used this sample, I think last year, I don't know. But if I remember correctly, this is indeed part of, or maybe the entire note for the documentation team from years ago when we worked on this XML refactoring feature. And then we have some images here that define the operation flow. So if you use an XML operation with Oxygen, these are screenshots of each step that you would have to take. And now, by using this expand draft action, the AI will start from this draft and expand it while also using, again, RAG. So, have I used the right action? I hope so. Yeah, expand draft. Okay, so it first started with some explanations. It doesn't usually do that, I think. But now it generates the data structure. Okay, and for the sake of being fast, I will simply insert the changes. And now you can see that it started adding some inline elements, and then for each image, it added a title, like step 1, and then it defines what this image is about, and then step 2, and again, it says something about the image, step 3, and it creates a definition list with all the options from here. I would have liked to also have some explanations here, but again, this is a draft, and I can do that by myself. So this is one of the new actions to expand a draft written in a data topic, not by using another configuration file, which some people may prefer. Another action is called split topic, and let me open another file here. So if you used sections in your data topic and you have a large data topic, you wouldn't need AI to split that topic. You could split that particular topic by using those sections, XSLT or whatever. And as a side note, you don't need AI for everything. So there are things that can be done without AI. We have clients asking us, how can I do this with AI? And we tell them, you don't need AI. We already have features that do what you want without the help of AI. So AI is not a silver bullet. You don't need to use it for everything. It's new, it's cool, but sometimes we have to refrain from using it because we may have some other better ways of doing that. But here in this topic, we don't have sections, so that our split topic action makes more sense. And this topic deals with at least two concepts. It deals with the installation, and then it deals with the license. And I will start this split topic action, but I will not. Okay, this is something new. Okay, this is enabled. So let's try this again. Okay, I don't know what happened in the previous run, but now it figured out that I expected it to do the action on the current editor, and it started analyzing the topic for modularity, and it detected what modules it can extract from this topic, and then it proposes how we can split this topic, so we can keep an overview topic and then have an installation task and a licensing concept. So these are, it also tells us what kind of data topic it will create. So it will create a task topic and a concept data topic. And then it started generating the content and so on. And later, it will also save these files and it should save these files and add them in the data map structure. So this is how split topic would work. It should use some of the functions that we have defined for the latest version of Positron, which these functions allow the AI to save files on the disk and then edit the data map and add new references to the data map. And that is being done also with your consent. So you will be asked, do you want this file to be saved? Do you want, because this is sensitive stuff, you don't want to give absolute control to the AI and start saving files on the disk without you consenting to that. Another new category in the latest version is called reuse. And we have a couple of actions here that will suggest components that can be reused instead of writing new content, or using key references for product names instead of writing the product name over and over again. That's not even, I don't expect people to do that very often, but if it happens, they should use this action. So for reusable components, I have this sample here. So if I select this note down here, which says you must restart the application for your changes to be applied, this actually looks like a thing that is repeated in the user guide, because you have more preferences pages and you may want to add this node for all of them. And if I select this and use the component, reuse component, find the reusable component action, we will see that Oxygen, using function calling, started looking for a reusable components that contains these keywords. And then the AI, after Oxygen found some possible reusable components, the AI decided which is the best. And if I insert this, you can see that now here I have a content reference instead of the actual content here, because I already knew, obviously, that we have these reusable components with the exact content. But theoretically, this should also work if you have two very similar paragraphs. So you don't have to have a one-to-one mapping between the words in that paragraph. But if the meaning is the same, the AI hopefully will see that and say, okay, you could use this, yeah, and that should be helpful to you. as a technical writer. And another action here, the product names action, wrong shortcut, getting started. So in this topic, I removed all the key references and I used Oxygen XML Editor like this, so plain text. And now if I use the action called product names, the AI will start looking for keys defined in the map that that define this this product name. So again, let's quickly insert this. And okay, this time something went wrong. And instead, so for the keys, usually for the keys, for the product names that don't have keys defined, the AI will propose to wrap that in keywords. But normally for this topic, it should actually find. Yeah, exactly. That was a. It seems the context is the right one, right?
But maybe also set the color
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't loaded for some reason, right? So you may have seen here that the map wasn't loaded. So I think that's the reason. Let's try that for one last time, because this used to work flawlessly. Yeah. So search for keys. Let's see. Okay, this time it found the key because the map was loaded. So it was my fault because I didn't load the map. And this time you can see that here we have a key reference, here we have a key references, and so everywhere we had the Oxygen XML name, now we have key references, and that's good. Another action that I want to show, because we're here in this sample, is called generate image alternate text. This is in the accessibility category. So when I was preparing a webinar where I also wanted to show this action, if I remember correctly, I thought to myself, how difficult would it be to create or to write an alternate text? I'm a software developer, so I don't really understand maybe technical writing, not completely. And then I started reading, and some people said that sometimes it's quite difficult to do that. It's not that easy, and I thought to myself, okay, so maybe I was wrong. And maybe especially when you have this kind of images with quite a lot of sections here, so you have sections to create new things, to look in recent files, to learn about Oxygen, upcoming events, and so on. It may be difficult to come up with an alternate text that gets the big picture and have enough details but not too much details. And you may probably spend 2 or 3 minutes to write that, but with AI it will take maybe 5 seconds. Let's see, I think it was less than 5 seconds. And this is what it generated. Welcome dialog box of Oxygen with options for new documents, recent files, and resources. I don't know, you decide if, as I said, I'm a software developer, I cannot say anything with real confidence, but I think it's incredibly good as a draft at least. Maybe you want to add 1 or 2, 3 extra words here, but it took us 5 seconds to get this. We also have what we call the Positron widget. So in this widget, we try to add some of the more useful actions that you would want to find really quickly. So now, by seeing this here, you may wonder how on earth is it quicker to find the actions here instead of here? And the answer is it's not quicker here. We added here so that you can see that we have this feature, but we have a shortcut for it. So if you use the Control Alt-Enter shortcut, you will get the same menu in the context you are in. So you don't have to go to the left, to the right. You have all the actions here in the context you are already in. And let's go back to one of the samples here. Okay, so I think I have 5 more minutes. In this sample, we have already seen it, but I noticed that in the first column, we don't have any kind of extra markup, so we only have the table markup. We have the entry element here, and I thought to myself, I think it would be a good idea to wrap the content, the text content, in code phrase or some sort of code, because this is these are CSS properties. This is code, so I expect it to be wrapped in code. So what I can do is select the body of the table, and now, oh, I accidentally pressed. I wanted to show the menu first and then look for the action, but I pressed the shortcut for the rewrite content action, and you can see it showed this widget down here. Usually it shows the widget at the end of the selection, but this time the selection was a big table, so that's why we see it here. And now we can say something like, for each cell in the first column, wrap the contents in code PH. Okay. And now the AI will regenerate this table while also adding markup to the text content in the first column. And while it does that, we can also take a look what other actions are here. So we have these very useful actions for example, correct grammar. We also have some actions to so that the AI will continue adding content. This is again an action that starts from a draft and continues writing that topic while also adding markup. So not only text but also markup. And now you can see that here we have code phrases. Really quickly, let me show you a couple of more actions. So here in these 2 paragraphs, we have some mistakes, and for the sake of being quick, let's see them added by the AI. So we have this proofread action that looks for logical inconsistencies, spelling and grammar mistakes, and some other kind of mistakes. And now here the AI, so this works as a reviewer. It doesn't change your content, but instead it adds comments as a reviewer would probably usually do. And we see here some inconsistent terminology or some redundant wording. And we also have, let's say, complementary action. It's also available here in the menu, but we use it from the widget for the sake of speed. So it's called resolve comments. And this will try to rewrite the content while taking into account the comments. The comments may also be human written, so they don't have to be written by the AI. If a reviewer, an SME, left you some comments there, then you can use the AI to try and resolve those comments. And yeah, now we don't have, so here we had, before I didn't highlight this, but we had provides many various ways, which was redundant wording. Now we have provides various ways to use ChatGPT. One other action I want to show is that AI fix action that I talked about. So here we have, I have a schematron rule that looks for large short descriptions because we want to keep them concise. And this, here we found such a larger short description. We have the validation message here. And we can simply go and use this AI Positron fix, which will send the content and the error message to the AI, and the AI should try to fix the problem based on only those two things. So now, yeah, so if I do undo and redo, you can see that now I have a short description, if I can say that. And one last feature is called, we have some other things in Positron, but we don't have enough time for that. And for some of them, we already have webinars or we did presentations. But one more thing is called AI refactoring. So you can select a folder in the project view or topic references in the data map, and then go to the refactoring menu and use this AI Positron XML refactoring action. Here you can choose between using an action, either a predefined action or your own custom action, or you can write a custom instruction on the spot. So for this example, let's go with the default selection here, short description. And using this feature, you can do the same AI-based action on a collection of files. So we have a short description in this topic, another one in this topic, and we can add these in the topics. Okay, so I think we have 3 or 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you have any questions, maybe 1 or 2 questions, and then you can, yeah, sure.
So the function to do some things on many paragraphs, it also can change XML attributes or something, of course.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Not
Yeah.
only the content.
No, not only the text content.
Insert IDs or something.
Yeah, it should do that. So you can also use it to alter the XML structure, add elements, remove elements, add attributes, remove attributes, and so. But some of these things again could be done without using AI, because we have so here in tools we have XML refactoring without AI, and we have actions here for adding attributes, deleting attributes, and so on. So you may not need to use AI for some of your use cases. Yes?
And if we have our own style guide, how can we apply it somehow so that AI looks at this guide and applies the rule from the guide when proofreading or doing something else?
Okay, so you have schematron rules, for example?
No, for now we have just a style guide in some web, so on the website, and but there are rules, and I think that AI can understand them. And is it possible to make it use it while proofreading?
I think, Radu, please correct me if I'm wrong, but one answer to this may be what we are thinking about. So this is one of the possible future directions, to let the user customize the data sources that power retrieval-augmented generation, so that you can select, okay, when you do RAG, also take into account the style guide that is found here. Do you have another idea, Radu?
Yes, also maybe fine-tuning the AI engine based on...
Yeah, so fine-tuning the AI engine, yeah.
Custom rules, or maybe expressing the custom rules as a very small piece of content which is setting the context for each action, that context...
So when you define the prompt for the AI?
Yeah, in the preferences you have a context.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, so here in the preferences of Positron, you have this context where you can provide a generic context for all the actions and all the prompts that are used in Positron. And you can instruct the AI here to take a look at the style guide, or maybe you want to, I think it would be too much to paste the style guide here. But configuring the RAG, that would be a good idea. So you can always say, look in this document when you write a topic. Okay, one more minute. If you have more questions later, you can always come by to our stand and we can have a talk. Okay, thank you very much.